I'm actually quite confident on that as well. I thought their penalties were piss poor against...
You feel like Pickford can pick someone off again?
Yeah, that Modric penalty.
Yeah, suspect. So he's taken 3 and 2 of them, one of them has been, no 4, and one has been saved, and then 2 others have looked really suspect. I think his first penalty that he scored in the group stages was a decent penalty, but the other ones haven't. The thing is, Subasic, the keeper, is, again, I said David Ospina's good at penalty saves, we'll beat them. I'm going to say it again because it may happen again. Subasic is a good keeper when it comes to a penalty shootout. He's got a good record. It was something like, maybe it was something like 20 in 70 that he saved.
Wow.
Which is a decent record. But then I've now, hopefully, means if it goes to penalties, I'll get proved wrong, the stats will get proved wrong, and football will come home.
20 and 70?
Yeah.
That's over 1 in 5. So every penalty shootout,
2 and 7.
Yeah. That's every penalty shootout. He's likely to save at least 1, more or less.
He's very good. He makes himself. He's a big guy, but he does those like weird sort of jumps and stuff that makes him bigger. Then he comes off his line really far.
Right.
So he makes himself. You know,
he goes very far forward.
Goes really far forward, but he starts from behind the line and jumps.
I don't know if I can handle penalties. Like
too much stress.
Imagine that though, penalties for a World Cup final. That would be the most nerve-wracking penalty shot I've ever watched in my entire life.
I'm really hoping.
They can't do that to us, lads.
I'm really hoping that we don't get to that point tonight.
But that's the big thing. Both of the games that Croatia have played in the knockout stages have gone to 120 minutes.
I hope they're tired.
That's the big thing.
They better be fucking tired. Otherwise, I'm saying it now, they're on the sauce.
They're playing out of this world.
They're playing out of this world, I think, is the phrase.
As they're unhuman. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're aliens, I think is one of the phrases I'm supposed to say. Someone said last time Dejan Lovren, or as they call him here, Dejan Lovers, faced Harry Kane. He was subbed off after 40 minutes because he couldn't handle him.
That's the big thing.
It's
he's had a very good season for Liverpool, but if you target him either with long balls over his head or long balls to him, sometimes he misjudges it.
Someone called Farmate here says England is very lucky to get this referee again. He's a no bullshit referee, which Georgie will like probably. He even told Neymar to fuck off.
If everyone who's watching could subscribe and like, that would be much appreciated.
Sure.
But once again, what we've got to remind them is, if you want to bet £5, get £20 free when you use the link in the description below.
So many pounds
with
free.
Coral. That means you can do any bet you want. You're not bound to any 40 to 1 or whatever.
Terms and conditions are down there.
Yeah.
I'm just verbally checking those.
From Pletikosha, and 2-0 up against 10 men. Are England going to be the first side to win a competitive international in Croatia? A wonderful moment for Theo Walcott and for English football. It's Pokravac who's come on in place of Niko Kovac. And we can bring in Dan Rowan for news of poor Joe Cole.
Well, I can tell you, John, that Joe appears to have a quite severe gash to his forehead. There's blood pouring from a wound on his head. And what will concern the medical team of England, of course, is the fact, John, that he did appear to stagger a few steps before collapsing, which does suggest a degree of concussion. But let's hope.
One of these countries, one of these teams will be part of a greater scene still here on
Played red, we've won.
I think we've
the
played
one.
Past the goalkeeper, didn't need to blast it, just placed it, rolled it past the keeper, and England have deserved it. They've been outstanding.
Wayne Rooney, whose finest display with 3 lions on his chest, came against Croatia in that game at Euro 2004 in Lisbon's Stadium of Light. He's very
don't like the name. minute 66. Southgate has named an unchanged side from the team that beat Sweden in the quarter-finals last weekend. Jordan Henderson has shaken off a hamstring injury and is fit enough to start at the heart of the midfield. For Croatia, they had doubts over...
Brozovic from deep. Exchanging with Rakitic. That is a key change in midfield for Croatia since the quarter-final. The inclusion of Brozovic probably allows Luka Modric a few yards further forward. The coach, Zlatko Dalic, did say that he wasn't happy with the shape of his side tactically against France, against Russia in the first half of the quarter-final the other night. It's a foul by Jesse Lingard, who is getting an early ticking off from the Turkish referee. Here's the left back for the first time is Strinic. Ahead of him is Perisic. Mandzukic biting in. Perisic looking to go at Trippier, maybe beyond him. Not many have got past Kieran Trippier in this competition up to now. Well, Gareth Southgate has ticked every box. He has met and exceeded every expectation, every obligation placed upon him by England's footballing public. The only question to be asked of him now is whether he dares go all the way. 3 managers have taken England to World Cup semi-finals. Sir Alf Ramsey, Sir Bobby Robson. And if England win here tonight, there is every chance that Gareth Southgate will go through a name change too. Walker, Trippier. Fitness, which was in doubt even for Zlatko Dalic until relatively late in the day. He had to be dragged off in Sochi on Saturday night. Walker. Trippier's gone early, Strinic saw the run. Lingard, that's a lovely touch. Beautiful take from Jesse Lingard. Now Dele Alli has had his ankle tapped in position A1 for England. Modric the offender. A little nibble at the back of Dele Alli. And an England free kick from a position where Kieran Trippier could well excel. Given the option to do so, England might have picked the ball up and put it down here. As has been the case throughout the competition, Young and Trippier, the co-conspirators. Croatian ball of 5. Arriving late to try and disrupt that. There is a little corridor of white through which Trippier might consider striking. It is Kieran Trippier. It is delicious! Glorious! Glorious England! Subasic was clawing at air, and Gareth Southgate was punching the air. And England now can only wish that the next 85 minutes would disappear into thin air. Because that's how close or far away they suddenly are. Kieran Trippier's first international goal. It was that goal. Modric. And Rebic. Pickford has come. Gathered rather like a rugby full-back. Called for a mark and then set Sterling on his way. Vida got across. Sterling. Lingard. Henderson. Sterling's in behind here. And Subasic took it off his toe. Vrsaljko for a Croatian team which coming into this game had been behind for just 11 minutes in the entirety of the competition. 3 against Denmark very early on in that game, and then 8 against Russia the other night. They've been behind for another 2 now. Modric, who remember gave away the free kick from which Trippier scored. Spread by Brozovic. Perisic. Rakitic. Perisic. Walker partially clear. Rakitic. Brozovic. Perisic. Perisic with the cross beyond Mandzukic. Young had to be wary. And he has surrendered a corner. Under pressure from Vrsaljko. Safe and sensible. This is England's first moment of vulnerability. Modric takes Mandzukic round the back. Flicked away by Maguire, back in by Perisic. Mandzukic climbing. Maguire away. There's a little bit harum scarum for England, but Kane can now clear, and Sterling's on his bike. Vrsaljko covering. Modric. And out of play by Rakitic. Nerves of steel in 2 penalty shootouts, and who was a spectator as Kieran Trippier delivered the first goal from a direct free kick in the knockout stage of this year's World Cup. And was it not a beauty? Not quite postage stamp, but well out of the reach of Daniel Subasic. Vrsaljko at the back of Alli. Maguire will take. A bit soon to be lifting it. But it's feeling right for England now. Fans are allowed to dream. Players have to keep sweating. Lovren clear. Kieran Trippier's perfect moment. The man they call the Berry Beckham. For that very reason. When he can put a ball down and then put a ball exactly where he intended to. Henderson. Young. Taken away from Dele Alli. And Brozovic has been given a talking to for his challenge. Though it was not deemed a foul, simply his was the last touch, and England have a corner. Which Ashley Young will take. And my goodness me, England have been potent from corners in this competition. And Stones is there, and Maguire is there. And Kane peels away. Is up, perhaps climbing, and Croatia have a free kick. They've perfected this little queue of England, which breaks late. Looks to me as though the key push might have been from Sterling there, actually, rather than one of the big bruisers. It's the first time since 1966 that England have had a lead in a World Cup semi-final. In 1990, Gary Lineker scored an equaliser, equalising Bremer's West German goal. Bobby Charlton actually had England 2 up at Wembley against Portugal 52 years back, before the great Eusebio grabbed one back with a penalty. There's Young. Dele Alli. Here's Trippier. This time Perisic is in the way. England have to settle for another corner. Trippier having what it will take it. It's that queue of white shirts again. Trippier's delivery, up got Maguire and squeezed his header wide. How many headers has he won? On occasion scoring himself, if not that, then enabling others to score. That header not dissimilar in type to Vida's for Croatia against Russia in Sochi in the quarter-final. Squeezed between a number of bodies, and on that occasion in, on this just wide. And by Mandzukic, Perisic is at the back of Walker. The referee's brought it back for a push on Mario Mandzukic. Rakitic. Vrsaljko. Clattered away by Trippier. Sterling's not giving up the chase here, actually, and Vida had to be wary. Vrsaljko. Rebic. Strong enough to hold off Young, but he ran into Henderson. Maguire. Kane. Foul on the England captain. Vrsaljko found guilty. Remember, yellow cards, single yellow cards have been wiped out, so everybody in disciplinary terms begins this game with a clean sheet. Henderson, Maguire, Stones, Walker. Strinic away from Lingard, support from the currently ubiquitous Trippier, who can do no wrong. Kane, Henderson, Walker, Henderson, for Sterling, picked off by the splendid Daniel Subasic. 4 shootout penalty saves on his CV forever. It's a competition that he will proudly remember for the duration of his life. Croatia, in a sense like England, trying to emerge from a shadow cast by a glorious generation past. 20 years since on their debut World Cup they went all the way to the semi-final. Indeed, having lost that, it is 20 years to the day since they played the third, fourth playoff and beat the Dutch. Davor Suker scored the goal that won him the Golden Boot. Modric over the top, flicked away by Walker. It came to Mandzukic, now Rakitic. Strinic, Rakitic. Vrsaljko well advanced, but so well advanced that he could keep that in. Confused by the idea, though he evidently is. Croatia have now been behind in this game for longer than they have been behind in the rest of the World Cup in total. England, of course, lost a game to Belgium. Feels like ancient and frankly irrelevant history now. Modric. Perisic. He's capable of a forceful drive from distance. He feels he ought to have a corner. Trippier is denying him that. Maybe that did flick the boots of Kyle Walker, and England have got lucky. It got a nick. Decision has got England's way. Pickford, a super pass for Lingard. Trippier. Sterling to show his speed again. Vida clambered all over him. His tackle is deemed clean enough. It's a Croatian throw. Trippier hobbling out of it. I think because of boot-to-boot contact, but because of the awkward manner in which he slid to ground. Rebic. Away from Young. Ante Rebic. Stones through his frame at it, and England can break with Henderson, who played it too hurriedly for Raheem Sterling, who was on his heels. 20 minutes in, and England are where they want to be. With a lead, and on the face of it, a relatively calm lead. Rakitic. Vrsaljko, he's got away from Young. In by Vrsaljko and out by Walker. And flicked on by Sterling and taken up by Kane, who is clouted to earth by Lovren. England want to take a free kick quickly. Lovren doesn't think it should be a free kick at all. players are making the case for the Liverpool centre-half, whose wariness of Harry Kane, and listen, that is a foul, isn't it? His wariness of Harry Kane has its roots perhaps in a Premier League game at Wembley in October when Kane made mincemeat out of him for Tottenham against Liverpool. And Lovren was withdrawn on that occasion by his club manager Jurgen Klopp after about half an hour. Oh, given away here to Sterling, and Sterling can wriggle, and Kane is offside. And truth be told, I don't think you had to be an official in line with play to see that Kane was offside. Strinic is a lucky boy, but in fairness to Sterling, he really had nowhere to go but Kane, and Kane had nowhere to be but offside. Perisic. A couple of sighters now. Perisic, 19 international goals. His next one will draw him level with Ivica Olic, these days the assistant coach of Croatia. Pickford underlining to those in front of him the peril that England do invite on themselves if they allow Rakitic, Perisic, Modric to shoot from range. All three of those specialists in doing so. Quarter of the game gone. Rakitic. Out by Trippier. Oh, that's smart again from Raheem Sterling, whose tail is up and has Vida in retreat, only then to slither himself. Repeatedly over the course of this competition, Gareth Southgate, the England coach, has had to stand stoutly in defence of Raheem Sterling and his continued selection of Raheem Sterling. All he's lacked is a goal. Previous meetings between these nations, England have won 4 of them. England won the only previous tournament collision in Portugal in 2004. A game on which, to a large extent, the Wayne Rooney legend was built a long time ago. Here goes Lingard. Sterling's through the middle. Lingard missed out Kane, and indeed, in the end, missed out Dele Alli too. Young, caught on it by Rebic. Rebic saw Pickford off his line. Whether that was intended to be swept into the path of Mandzukic or perhaps to embarrass the England goalkeeper, achieved neither. There are some who say that the renaissance of English international football, such as it is traceable back to an infamous defeat by Croatia at Wembley in 2007. to a crisis was when he looked really badly injured in the quarter-final the other night. Just about saw it through, and indeed, playing off one leg, made 2 or 3 really important saves against Russia. Pickford confident enough to toy with Mandzukic. Lovren's up, Henderson. Alli handled. Stitch. Well, it took his side a little while to grow into the quarter-final the other night, actually. Zlatko Dalic, as mentioned, he wasn't happy with the first half then. And there's little question, I think, that Croatia have looked at twitchier, less naturally settled. Pickford clear, out by Brozovic. Many things that Gareth Southgate has done well is to reduce the weight of the England shirt, reduce the expectation, allow his players just to enjoy the experience. Feels as though this group doesn't feel pressure. Sterling, Henderson, Maguire, just away from Young by Rebic. Kane, Alli, Lingard, Harry Kane, and Kane again, and he couldn't force it in. Second time actually he was offside. First time, for once, eyeball to eyeball with a goalkeeper. Harry Kane appeared to lack conviction. Angle then was very tight. If Subasic had got unlucky, I guess it could have cannoned off him and in. But by then it wasn't counting. And England's lead remains the slenderest. Good win by Stones. Early from Henderson, too early really for Harry Kane. Rebic. Young did well to get a toe on it. Kane twisting away from Brozovic. And now Dele Alli. Alli and Jesse Lingard couldn't find the corner. And he certainly had sight of the corner. That is a clear, clean chance for England. Lingard's radar was out. By Mandzukic. Has done well to steer that in the direction of Trippier. Henderson. Trippier. Henderson. There goes Sterling again on the shoulder of Vida, who is rightly wary of Raheem Sterling's pace. Inside the last 9 minutes of the first half at the Luzhniki Stadium in Moscow. England with a lead, France waiting. Lingard on the ball. Raheem Sterling has come back out to Trippier, who's lofted it beyond the lot of them. Stones. Alli. Stones. Henderson. Pickford. Trippier. Henderson. Over the top for Lingard, who's going to have to be quick. He's not quite quick enough. Just say something about the England mindset that their goalkeeper is prepared to toy with Ivan Rakitic in possession of the ball inside his own penalty area. World-class midfielder from Barcelona, Vrsaljko. Every other Englishman here feels twitchy. Pickford doesn't seem to notice. Lovren. Vida, Rakitic, Strinic, or Trippier. Lovren. Vrsaljko, Lovren, Vida, Strinic, Vida, Modric, a would-be game changer. Vrsaljko has come off Maguire. Walker cleared. And Henderson was taking no chances. Within the last 6 minutes of the first half now, it's the case that Croatia have had just one touch of the ball inside the England penalty area. Strinic. Rakitic. Vida, who lost the love of the Russian nation on the Saturday evening. You can hear evidence of that every time he touches the ball. Young. Nobbled from behind. Maguire would be advised to reduce the dialogue with the referee, though one understands again the point that he and England have made a few times, that the referee, whilst giving the free kicks, is being relatively tolerant, very tolerant, in terms of his resistance to showing a yellow card. Trippier, Henderson, and it's just too big an ask of Jesse Lingard. Again with a composed clearance. Kane won his header, so Lovren is unruffled. Vrsaljko, Rebic, Modric, Strinic, clear again by Stones, by Trippier, Rakitic, Modric, Vrsaljko, he's had a pop, and it's fair to say it was not especially close. 40th game for Croatia tonight. He is yet to score. A man before tonight, perhaps best known to an English audience for the red card he received in this season's Europa League semi-final against Arsenal, in the colours then of Atletico Madrid, with whom he won that competition. Kane, and Sterling, and Lingard, and Sterling. Good tackle from Rakitic. Perisic back to base. Kane. Alli. Brozovic. Nothing tidied up behind him. Kane, Alli, Henderson, Lingard, Kane, spread again for Trippier, Kyle Walker, Maguire, Stones and Walker just about communicative, but Pickford can put a boot through it, but it's coming back from Perisic. And now Rakitic. Ivan Rakitic denied further progress by the splendidly solid Kyle Walker. As England, for the first time really on the night, dug themselves a bit of a hole. To 1 additional minute at the end of the first half. A minute within which Croatia have this set piece, potentially to alter the dynamic, the feel of the whole evening. Strinic blocked off by Trippier. That's the reason for it. This is all there's time for. Lovren's in there. Vida is forward too, and Mandzukic, of course. Perisic at the back of the queue. Flicked in by Modric. Out by Walker. Hit by Rakitic. Here's Luka Modric again. Modric denied space to shoot by Henderson. And England can run away with it, and the half-time whistle blows. A gem of a free kick is all that separates them. Harry Kane can lead his team off, content in the knowledge that Kieran Trippier came up with an absolute diamond. For England, it is composed, it is calm. For Croatia, it doesn't seem so, but is it coming home? Well, it is a little bit closer, notwithstanding the bumping and boring in the last set piece of the half, and Lovren going to ground. And indeed, as he walks off, Trippier is dealing with some input from elsewhere in Moscow regarding those coming-togethers, but it would appear that they have come to nothing. The first half for England has assuredly not. They lead in the World Cup semi-final by 1-0.
অন্য ব্যাংকের কার্ড থেকে নেক্সাস পেতে টাকা ট্রান্সফার করলেই পাবেন 25% বোনাস। নেক্সাস পে মানি সবকিছু। ডাচ বাংলা ব্যাংক, আপনার বিশ্বস্ত সহযোগী।
আমি বিশ্বাস করি কিছুই অসম্ভব নয়, সো আই লাভ টু টেক চ্যালেঞ্জেস। শহরের বাইরের কোনো ইভেন্টেও যদি দোলনচাপা ভুলই লাগে, ঠিকই অ্যারেঞ্জ করে ফেলবো। আমার মতো আমার ত্বকও চ্যালেঞ্জ ফেস করে প্রতিদিন, তাই মেরিল মিল্ক সোপ বার। এতে আছে দুধের পুষ্টি আর 6 গুণ বেশি ময়েশ্চার, যা আমাকে দেয় ফ্রেশ অ্যান্ড ইয়াঙ্গার লুকিং স্কিন। ওয়েডিং প্ল্যানার হিসেবে যখন দেখি একটা ফ্রেশ স্টার্ট, তখন সবই সুন্দর মনে হয়। মেরিল মিল্ক সোপ বার, ফ্রেশ মানেই সুন্দর।
তাজা আনারসের মজাদার স্বাদে বিস ক্লাবের ফ্রুট ফান পাইনঅ্যাপেল বিস্কিট।
খেলার মাঠে চ্যাম্পিয়ন যেই হোক, বেশি দেওয়ার বেলায় বাংলা লিঙ্কই চ্যাম্পিয়ন। এখন মাত্র 93 টাকায় 15 দিনের জন্য 300 মিনিট।
বিকাশ অ্যাপ দিয়ে পেমেন্ট করুন দেশ জুড়ে 50,000-এরও বেশি দোকানে। আজই ডাউনলোড করুন।
লাইভ খেলা দেখতে রবিতে 129 টাকায় 6 জিবি। ডাউনলোড মাই স্পোর্টস রবি।
শহরের বাইরের কোনো ইভেন্টেও যদি দোলনচাপা ভুলই লাগে, আমি জানি
কমুনে আমি একদিন হইলো
Only once in the whole history of the World Cup has a semi-finalist led at half-time and lost. Italy against Argentina on penalties in the end in 1990. That aside, an advantage at the break has led to a place in the World Cup final. It is history upon which England hope to build here. It is a sequence that Croatia seek to crash. Trippier. Bounce back for Strinic, on by Rakitic. Sweet turn from Rebic. Strinic, Rebic. No way past Henderson. And Walker belts it clear. He's old enough to remember, those who have passed the fables down the line will tell you that in 1966, the game of the tournament, certainly from an England perspective, was their semi-final against Portugal, in which Bobby Charlton scored 2 great goals, though he was first to give credit to the tireless Nobby Stiles In by Vrsaljko, out by Walker. Clear from a prone position by Trippier, who has a free kick. He styles that famous night at Wembley. History tells us did a wonderful job on Eusebio, who was, at the time, arguably surpassing Pelé as the best player on the planet. And England have never won a World Cup semi-final abroad. Strinic, Walker got caught by Rebic. A free kick, and finally the yellow card is evident. Not necessarily for Rebic's sharp elbow, though it is possible he was the one to have his name taken. I did see the referee march in the direction of Mandzukic, whose reaction wasn't ideal. An initial report that it is Rebic who was booked, I think, is being reviewed, and it may be that yellow card is instead going to be set alongside the name of Mario Mandzukic. I'll bring you confirmation on that as and when it is clarified. So it looked to me as though Čakir walked over to Mandzukic and not to Rebic, whose original offence it had been. Check has been carried out by the video assistant referee, and it appears that Rebic keeps the booking, subject to any further update. Trippier's throw. Vida across to meet Harry Kane, whom he sends spinning into the advertising board. By Walker. By Dele Alli. Strinic only partially clear. Lingard onto it. Strinic. Mandzukic. Back by Walker. And as had been my original instinct, there has been a further update, and just to dot these I's and to cross the T's, it is Mario Mandzukic who was indeed the first player booked. Vrsaljko. Lovren. Right, first 5 minutes of the second half, that caution aside. Suits England. Possession statistics actually in the first half marginally favoured Croatia, 52 to 48. Rebic with Walker. Shielded the ball well. And there you see the event. Mandzukic picked out for the booking, although the offence was Rebic's. Strinic with the clearance. Kane went to try and win it back. Brozovic tackled him firmly. Modric stolen from him by the progressive Maguire. And Kane is still trotting back from so far offside. He was almost in St. Petersburg. Lovren. Vrsaljko. Perisic starting the second half from the right. Modric. Strinic. Rebic beaten to it by Kyle Walker. He wanted the throw but isn't getting it. Strinic. Rebic. Too heavy for Perisic beyond the back post. Lovren's header out. Done again by Alli. There's Kane from wide. Looking to worry Lovren. Away from whom he leant. Only to be tipped over by Vrsaljko. The referee's happy with that. There goes Maguire again. Nick back for Modric. Vrsaljko into touch. Kane inquiring, and others on his behalf. You have to observe that Vrsaljko's challenge didn't have an awful lot to do with the ball. It's not been, by any stretch of the imagination, a pretty start to the second half. Stones caught on it. Napped forward by Rakitic. Shifted on by Perisic, pursued by Rebic, and Walker's across once more. How many times have we seen that over the course of the last month? Walker won't yield the ball. And as a result of that, he is being booked. On each side after not a scratch in the referee's notebook in the first half. Strinic. Lingard thought he played it against Strinic, but a corner has been given. Confirmation of Walker's yellow card. Real headache of the second half for England. Flung in by Rakitic. The referee seen another push. England have a relieving free kick. Stones there you see apologising for his loss of possession in what could have been a perilous set of circumstances. He is off the hook, I think, because of Lovren's push on Maguire there. Kane's header. Sterling. Lingard, deflection corner. Jesse Lingard, one touch and have a go. Lovren's heel was the impediment. Kieran Trippier is over to take the set piece. And by now we know the routine. England's white Congo line split into 2 threes this time. Trippier takes, heading out as far as Walker. Flick forward again for Trippier, and aimed it at Kane. And bravely dealt with from a prone position by Lovren. Crashed forward again by Pickford. Out by Strinic. Kane. Trippier. Kane. Trippier. Vida away. Henderson couldn't get there. Rebic now can cross halfway. Mandzukic. Thrown away by Henderson, on by Alli. Nicely dealt with by Sterling. Alli again. Trying handball. The referee not interested. Vrsaljko. Brozovic, Modric. Strinic. Rebic. In by Strinic. Away by Stones. Rakitic. And out by Maguire. Lovren has no route around Kane. A beautifully volleyed, cushioned pass by Trippier, but Lovren's defending was excellent in the face of Harry Kane. Strinic. Croatia's semi-final still to chase. Rakitic, Modric, Brozovic, Rebic, miscued by Walker at the expense of another Croatian corner. It's not intense pressure, but it's persistent. Some of these technically adept Croatians are seeing a bit more of the ball and using it a little bit more purposefully. Lifted in by Modric, and Pickford came and got very good distance on his punch. Sterling to turn adroitly. Might actually have done with playing on there because Lingard had the ball. It's a free kick. Displeased with Lovren's tackle. Manchester United against Liverpool, that. Always a bit spicy. Trippier. By Vida. Rakitic. Modric. Perisic with Vrsaljko going beyond him. And Mandzukic through the middle. Here is Vrsaljko. And Perisic. Beyond Mandzukic, clear by Trippier, Rakitic! As ambitious it would have been, a goal to decorate any semi-final. The idea is applauded, indeed loved. But it counts for nothing. Committed twice as many fouls as England. Truth be told, the only statistic that really matters at the moment is that England have scored one more goal than Croatia. Modric. Vrsaljko. Didn't get it back from Perisic. I think they've done any one thing particularly well to this point. Is that, broadly speaking, they haven't allowed Modric to set the rhythm. They haven't permitted Croatia to achieve their own tempo. 20 more nondescript minutes. Keeping with the 16 or so we've seen since half-time, would doing them very nicely. They will be aware, as the world is aware, that Croatia can switch on in a trice. Lingard's after it. Vida's there before him, somewhat clumsily. Lingard. It's a pretty tight cul-de-sac. He was outnumbered 2-1. Henderson got away from Rebic, fed it in for Sterling. Raheem Sterling has tumbled. Vida was at his back, claims innocence, and the referee concurs with that claim. Nice from Mandzukic. Now Rebic. Mandzukic isn't as quick as Kyle Walker, who asked Pickford to clear. This is a moment that Xhaka is having his attention drawn to. I tell you what, that is boot to boot, and the ball was secondary. Whether you would call it a clear and obvious error, though, is another question altogether. Strinic. Again by Walker. Strinic. Rakitic. Lovren. Vrsaljko. It's a good read by Young. Sterling's up ahead of him. Kane's the other way. Harry Kane. Young hasn't stopped. Vida's got a job here. And gets it done with Sterling breathing down his neck. Strinic kept it in, but only for Trippier. Taken back by Rakitic. Modric. Brozovic. Modric. Vrsaljko. Modric. Away by Stones. Perisic into the crowd, and Perisic again. And England got bodies around it. Here's Strinic. Croatia looking here to turn up the wick. Rebic can play it in, and Walker can climb, and Modric can collect, and Kane can outmuscle him, and Young can try and escape. Modric feels he might have a free kick there. The decision has gone England's way. Well, certainly Kane's not guilty, and Vrsaljko is there. Walker's feeling it a bit. He has been teasing himself on social media as a result of what he calls his cramp dance after pulling up the other day. This, I think, is a different issue altogether. He simply put his body on the line. It's a really critical block for which he is feeling the pain. And there are 25 minutes to play. And that particular sliver of Sheffield steel requires a bit of polishing as England reflect on the fact that they are potentially 25 minutes away from the World Cup final. They score their second settling goal in 1966 until 10 minutes from time. In 1990 they led until they trailed until 10 minutes from time when Gary Lineker equalised. Bremer and Matthäus and Riedler and Toten were all perfect from the spot, as Germans tend to be. Right now, I'm sitting 2.5 yards away from Chris Waddle, who that night was the last man until tonight to touch a World Cup semi-final ball for England. Trippier. Kane! There was no angle to work with. I'd also be interested to know that 15 yards to Chris Waddle's right is Stuart Pearce, who had his penalty saved that famous night in Turin 28 years ago. Bodo Illner. Strinic. Rakitic for Vrsaljko, aimed in beyond Mandzukic, and fired home by Perisic! Croatia's cravings are satisfied, at least for now! Pickford beaten by Perisic, and the semi-final is back where it began. Delicious delivery from Vrsaljko. Ivan Perisic threw out a high boot, made pure contact, and left Jordan Pickford without a prayer. And so once more, we head into the void of uncertainty. This can tip either way. A second goal at the tournament for Ivan Perisic, his 20th international goal. And England's grasp on the tie is loosened. But there's Alli, and here's Sterling, and through goes Lingard, and off his line comes Subasic. A match which has contained 3 shots on target has contained 2 goals. Those rowdy Croatians, they're a wonderful bunch. There is no nation whose supporters are more overtly and audibly patriotic than Croatians. Kane spears it beyond the reach of Trippier. The now neutral Russians can smile and enjoy. Years since their only previous semi-final, when Davor Suker gave them the lead, only for Lilian Thuram to score twice in the second half for France at Saint-Denis. This is the team seeking to escape the shadows of Simic and Stimac and Bilic, Jarni and Boban, Asanovic, Vlahovic, Suker. Pickford is coming, wasn't sure, and here is Perisic. Ivan Perisic has hit the post, and Rebic couldn't make proper contact with the rebound, and England breathe a collective and profound sigh of relief. They have got away with one there. Ivan Perisic, who hit the inside of Russia's post on Saturday night, has just hit the inside of England's. is that Croatia are getting a little bit of a grip on this. 67% second half possession for Croatia, who attack again with Mandzukic. Flicked out as far as Rakitic. Alli needs Young to help him escape, and he can't escape. Rakitic, Modric, Mandzukic, Rakitic, Modric, Vrsaljko, corner. And suddenly there is a different tone to the noise. Croatian timbre, as England prepare Marcus Rashford. After this corner, for which they've gone short, aimed it at Rebic and thundered over somewhat optimistically by Marcelo Brozovic. Shin rather than instep, foul rather than net. That is the change for which some England supporters have been asking. Marcus Rashford is a maker of difference from the bench. He has a proven track record in that regard, and given the dynamic of the second half here, England were and are looking for something different. Henderson down by Lingard, on by Alli. First chance now for Rashford to make that difference, and perhaps to frighten Lovren. Rashford plays it in. Header away comes to Walker. Henderson. Stones. Maguire. Young. Suddenly, Trippier's legs were leaden. Perisic with the hasty throw. Walker got there, but Mandzukic can pen him in here. Strinic. Lovren. Vrsaljko. Modric. Vrsaljko. Rebic. Perisic beaten to it by Walker. England are wobbling here. Brozovic. Vrsaljko. Flipped over the top for Modric. Brought away by Henderson, who has Rashford up ahead of him. Lovren's block. Kane tries to play Rashford in. Vida is across to meet it. Rashford having begun from an offside position. Quarter of an hour to play, or 3/4 of an hour to play. Fired in by Rakitic and very well pouched by Pickford. Young. Maguire. Stones. Walker. Henderson. Trippier. Rashford. Vida's cover. Trippier's throw. Kane. Lingard! Between Dele Alli and the post. Dele Alli can't keep it in. As much as he could, playing it into a corridor. Needed a white shirt to be populating that corridor. Henderson, Alli, Kane, Rashford, Kane, Henderson, and again Jordan Henderson. He's never balanced over it. Jordan Henderson, who was born during the 1990 World Cup, and whose own World Cup experience might have got a whole lot more bitter had Ivan Perisic played that an inch further infield. Look at Pickford's face. It just says thank you. Sochi on Saturday night, he did exactly the same thing against Russia. He speared it past the goalkeeper. Watched it bounce out. Rebic had the ball at his feet before he knew it. And those are the margins. Those are the World Cup semi-final margins. Croatia, as a nation, have felt them before. England certainly have. Kane. Dele Alli. Rashford did not get there. It's a goal kick. By Vrsaljko. Stones. Gives off a little more Pikachu. Evidently he believes the throw should be his. Well, Trippier's back pass, Perisic onto it. Nicked back by Walker so that Pickford could clear. Another uncomfortable moment for England at the back. Rashford. They led and they trailed against Russia in the quarter-final. And Dalic's Croatia. They've trailed here and got for Perisic against the post, and then Walker denying Perisic. Then they might have led here. From an England perspective, perhaps the most comparable game of this tournament up to now would be the Tunisia game with which they started in Volgograd weeks and weeks ago when Kane scored early. Tunisia got their equaliser, and then on that occasion England won it very late. Those in white will be hoping and praying that that is a blueprint for tonight. Mandzukic, Rakitic, Perisic. It's where he needed to be. Lingard. Henderson high. Lovren away from Kane. Modric away from Alli. Ended up Mandzukic. Mario Mandzukic! Pickford stationed at his near post. And he clears an Alli. And Rashford's the chaser. And Vida has lost it, but Subasic hasn't. Strinic. Perisic. Rakitic. Vrsaljko. Rakitic. Vrsaljko. Deep towards Perisic. Pickford has come. Perisic! Has lifted it over. Not just the scorer, but the ongoing threat, Ivan Perisic. Does get his fair share of goals for Internazionale in the Serie A. 11 in the season just finished. Mandzukic has always got his fair share of goals. Jordan Pickford was well positioned to deny the Juventus centre forward. Vrsaljko. Modric. Lovren. Modric. Brozovic. Well read by Maguire. Young. Modric from quarterback. Again, Perisic is the target. Walker was very calm. Trippier is going long. Vida again out jumps Rashford. Bounce was awkward for Henderson, who protected possession well. Young. Caught on it by Perisic, who has a new lease of life. There are 5 minutes to play. Rakitic for Strinic. Leaning off Trippier and away from Henderson. Strinic. Oh, it's not a good pass at the end of all that. Perisic won't thank him for it. Fullback had made excellent ground. That is as furrowed as the Southgate brow has been for a while. By Henderson. Rashford at the back of Vida. Control safe and sensible. Kane. Beyond Lingard. Not allowed to run. Stretch. England's last major semi-final of any sort was the one in which Gareth Southgate missed his penalty. Don't pretend, if you are of an English persuasion, But that whole 12-yard shebang hasn't started to cross your mind again. You know it has. There's a little way to go yet. 3 minutes of the 90, potentially 30 minutes beyond. And of course the nation that wins, if it does go an extra half hour, would certainly be France. They will be sat in their hotel rooms hoping that this goes on till 3 o'clock in the morning and that nobody can walk by the end of it. Mandzukic, Rebic. And there are 2 minutes to play. Croatia will be only the 4th team in World Cup history to require 3 periods of extra time in the same tournament. England went through that in 1990. Vida. Vrsaljko. Perisic. Vrsaljko. Modric. Vrsaljko. Brozovic, and again the fullback Vrsaljko. Modric. Making clever angles with Brozovic. Vida. Rakitic. Strinic. Rebic. Brozovic. Lovren. Lovren, after a string of probing, purposeful passes, he is probably worth that apology. He's found one of his countrymen in the crowd who is reluctant to give the ball back. They have a spare. Being England's. As we head into 3 minutes of stoppage time, it could be anyone's. Rashford's done well. Vida slides it out. Trippier. Rashford. Foul on him by Rakitic. An England free kick in stoppage time. Trippier to take. Kane right at the back of the picture. Maguire and Stones just behind the penalty spot. Flicked in by Trippier. And headed down and wide by Kane. 4 games at this World Cup have gone to extra time. They've all gone on to penalties. 3 of them have involved Croatia or England. This may involve both. First touch was Rashford's. Brozovic. Vrsaljko, last knockings now. Vrsaljko plays it in. Stones nudges it out. Rakitic, Modric. Seconds now. Strinic. Perisic. Referee's had a glance. The referee has blown his whistle, and the angst is prolonged. France will play in the World Cup final. The identity of...
এটা ব্রাজিল নয়।
De tu quincena. Cámbiate a nómina BBVA Bancomer y obtén préstamos inmediatos desde tu celular. BBVA Bancomer, creando oportunidades. Requisitos y comisiones en www.bancomer.com.
Doctor, este juego es esta copa. Mire cómo se saluda a los jugadores. Un momento, ¿qué hace un mecánico saludando en la cancha? ¿Y también don Manuel y una enfermera?
Si juegas con Caliente.mx, juegas en Rusia. Baja la app y obtén 300 pesos. Caliente.mx. Más acción, más diversión. Permiso Segovia GTSP 404-97. Consulta términos y condiciones en Caliente.mx.
¿Cuándo fue la última vez que imaginaste
Southgate, centre-half, tapped many times by England. Deep conversation with the man who plays his position now, Harry Maguire. And what a young English team this is. Maguire, who looks as though he's won 100 caps, is winning his 11th tonight. Goalkeeper Jack Butland winning just his 9th. Jordan Pickford winning just his 9th. Trippier re-summons the captains, who have done this before. Harry Kane of Tottenham Hotspur, Luka Modric of Real Madrid, and once of Tottenham Hotspur. Players each with great regard for the other. If they meet again to shake hands, that will mean we've gone to penalties. Kuipers has come to the touchline, the 4th official, and that is because England are making a change at left back, where Ashley Young has given way to Danny Rose. An embrace, affection, and the passing on of the baton. And running again. Perhaps we should have known. Deep down, perhaps we did know that this was not going to finish simply or quickly. Should have known. Deep down, perhaps we did know that this was not going to finish simply or quickly. Should have known. Deep down, perhaps we did know. This was not going to finish simply on the line before Brozovic. Deep down, perhaps we did know. This was not going to finish simply on the line before Brozovic. Deep down, perhaps we did know. So we see again the collision which perhaps involved Henderson on Mandzukic as much as Maguire at the back of his man marker. Henderson has run his race, and Eric Dyer, another from Tottenham, will replace him. Dyer, remember, icy-veined individual who slotted the winning penalty against Colombia. Henderson, who missed against Colombia, is spared the possibility of having to step up again. I say missed, it's a harsh assessment. It was a terrific save from Ospina. That's history. Alli done well to pick out Rose, and Rose can see Rashford. Rose kept wriggling himself and set it back for Lingard, and Eric Dyer, whose first touch of the football skews up and behind for an England corner. Over the thump. It was closed down, and England have another set piece midway through the first period of extra time in a World Cup semi-final, which is right on the edge. Trippier takes stones and off the line. Vrsaljko, the Croatian saviour. And Rashford can't bring the ball with him, and Croatia can bring the ball away. Well, these are the moments England play for. Stones got a lot on it, but Vrsaljko was where he needed to be. He had a very clear view of it, and waltzed goal line, and therefore reason for some angst and excitement. Actually, it turned out to be relatively routine for Szymon Vrsaljko. Trippier went early. Vrsaljko away from Rashford. From Perisic, much too long. Dyer. Trippier. Became Vida. He showed terrific composure. Rakitic. Perisic inviting Vrsaljko forward. Vrsaljko caught up by Rashford and fouled. Those two spent a little time in each other's company in the immediate aftermath of England's near thing a moment or two ago, and Vrsaljko left something on Rashford, which, despite Vrsaljko's reaction, Rashford hadn't left on him. It's the end of the evening for Ante Rebic, and the start of it for the scorer of Croatia's first quarter-final goal, Kramaric, who has played a little bit of Premier League football in England for Leicester City. Modric, Brozovic, Rakitic, Brozovic, Kramaric, Modric, between two streams of thought. Rashford streams away and Modric holds him up. Lingard. Dyer. Stones. Maguire. Dyer. Stones. Maguire. Rose. By Lovren. Was first to it, it fell for Kramaric. Stones. Lingard. Maguire. Walker. Trippier. Walker. Vida had a grasp on Kane. Lingard scurrying to make up for his error. Maguire. And Rose, away by Lovren. Modric protected it. Rakitic can try to emerge with it. It was fouled by Harry Kane. Who won a throw and raised arms in the vicinity of Dyer. Rose's clearance. Rashford. Kane. Alli can't get there. We have 2 additional minutes at the end of the first period of extra time. Modric. Rose with the throw. Kane. Alli went to ground. The referee wasn't interested. Modric has brought it away, and Perisic is moving at pace. Walker in retreat. Perisic. Kramaric. Outed away by Stones. Vida. Rakitic. Kramaric. Perisic. Pickford. Modric threw a boot at it and hit only fresh air. And Rashford scurried away, but ultimately had nowhere to go. Perisic. Aimed it at Mandzukic. What a save by Pickford. was a brick wall. That required the courage of a lion. 3 lions. Eyeball to eyeball with Mario Mandzukic. Jordan Pickford got there, hung out a leg and kept England on level terms. Mandzukic was odds on to score. That is immensely courageous goalkeeping. So 3 times against Sweden he showed elasticity, this time courage. Modric, Kramaric. Half-time, extra time, and no addition. If there is one thing that this World Cup has done, it is strain the nerve and emotional sinew of every fan involved. It all seems to be going to the wire, and this just another game which catches that mood. Mandzukic hobbling, everybody on edge. Croatia 1, England 1, and 15 more minutes to play.
What a chance. What a save. It might just be a match-winning save.
2 big chances and they get in that half. John Stones' header off the line, and that one either could have taken either of these sides into the lead.
You see the gaps up and off, can't you?
Yeah.
You know, with tiredness. One pass is taken, 4 or 5 players out of the game, whereas they could get back quickly. They close off the angles and spaces. They can't do it anymore. Just about both teams, and many they're hanging on. It's going to be a piece of brilliance of someone.
Yeah, of course, but England is better in the game now. They're looking. Oh, what a ball from Perisic! What a fantastic move from Mandzukic.
Should he
score?
Paul,
what a save!
I don't think he can. I think the goalkeeper's on top of him so quickly. I mean, he's done everything he can. He's put his foot out. The goalkeeper's so brave, and so's Mandzukic. Well, by the way, you can't discredit the goalkeeper because the striker's gone in there to win it for his team, and so has the goalkeeper.
Goalkeeper's led with his.
When the equaliser came, but it was expected really. They'd dropped too deep.
Goalkeepers enjoyed penalty shootouts as much as Daniel Subasic. Out of touch by Pickford, who had his moment too, of course, against the Colombians. Mandzukic. Rakitic. Time for a smile, even amid this oppressive tension. Pickford, Kramaric, Pickford, Brozovic, Modric. Steps Lovren. Pickford, Perisic. Corner out of that. Fielded in by Jesse Lingard.
আমার মোবাইলের চ্যানেলটি সাবস্ক্রাইব করুন এবং
Lovren makes the long journey forward, accompanied by Vida, who scored an extra time in Sochi on Saturday night, and Rakitic took it quickly, and Brozovic fired it wide. Were just a little sleepy. He appeared blindside, almost unnoticed. Pickford was unimpressed. Trippier, and by Vida, taken up by Kramaric. Rakitic. Pickford. Walker got there. So though did Perisic. Mandzukic! Croatia hit the front! Croatia may be going all the way! Mario Mandzukic pounced! And England are hurt! England are hurting! Trice, the whole picture changes. It's at moments like this that Mario Mandzukic has for a decade and more switched on, and boy, he switched on. It is a piercing finish. Perisic had done well to win the header. Mandzukic did not hesitate, and Croatia are 11 minutes from the World Cup final. "11 minutes from climbing out of the shadows of the class of '98. Davor Suker is here, Goran Vlahovic is here. Veterans of a semi-final that Croatia led and lost. This is a semi-final in which they have trailed and now lead. And for England, this feels like a familiar pain, an ongoing ache, an eternal injury. Prayers of different sorts being offered up now. They can afford to smile. Croatia will slow everything down. Do you think again of the English class of 1990? The last two went so close. There's Kane, in goes Rashford. Swept up by Vrsaljko. And England are going to try and play their final trump card here. They are going to call on Jamie Vardy, the lead player in one of English club football's most extraordinary stories of the 21st century. The Leicester City striker, the sharpshooter from Sheffield, who won a Premier League against all the odds, and who comes on here in place of Kyle Walker. A boy who knew football at the humblest level. And here is Rashford, away by Perisic. Came down for Kane, taken off his toe by Modric. Dyer now from centre-half. Mandzukic is feeling the pace, but don't expect England to stop. Rose for Rashford. Rashford in towards Dele Alli, and well picked off by Subasic. And now Mandzukic is afforded treatment. He has a view of the headlines. He can be Croatia's match winner in a World Cup semi-final. That is how it has felt to be an England fan before. Truthfully, it is how it has felt to be an England fan, not necessarily for 52 years, but certainly for 48. Since in Mexico in 1970, England from 2-0 up, lost the quarter-final, 3-2 to West Germany, ceased to be world champions, and haven't been since. Pickford, 7 minutes to play. Modric, Kramaric, Modric, Rakitic, Vida. If Croatia can deprive England of the ball, Croatia will be in the World Cup final. Kramaric, Pickford, Perisic threw his boot at it. And it's going to squirt out for a corner. And Croatia have a change to make. Mandzukic may have made the ultimate contribution. It is his last meaningful contribution, until perhaps returning here on Sunday. It is what centre-forwards are paid to do, and he did it in his nation's hour of need. Nor is it any surprise that the centre-forward is replaced by a defender. Vrsaljko, coming on here to win his 103rd cap and his 4th major tournament. And with 5 or 6 minutes plus stoppage time to see out. Trippier's got cramp And England have played all their cards. Gareth Southgate has done throughout is keep a level head, continue to communicate, never to shout and bawl. Every word he speaks has a purpose. Croatia committing few to the corner. Brozovic with the shot, and Pickford grabbed it second time. Forward for Kane. England playing with 10 right now. Trippier is in the arms of two medical staff and being carried away. England a goal down and a man down. Cards stacked against them. But they have a free kick. Trippier in agony, emotional and physical. His goal might have won this game, and yet this game is getting away. No Young, no Trippier now to take the free kick. Marcus Rashford is in charge of it. In by Rashford, up got Maguire, but not high enough. They're convinced, are England, that got a Croatian touch. Maguire was closest to it. Cudek Chaka is not interested. Croatia are going to make another change here. Let's have a look. Oh, Lovren's got a clear touch. Should be an England corner. Question about it, but a goal kick is given. Modric is being withdrawn with 2 minutes of stoppage time to play, and the prospect of a World Cup final, the man who would lift the World Cup for Croatia, gives way for what remains of this melodrama to Milan Badel of Fiorentina. Heftily forward by Pickford. Vardy completing with Lovren. Chorluka out. Maguire. Stones. Long from Dyer. Won by Vardy. But it landed for Brozovic. In goes Maguire. Sent spinning by Chorluka. No foul, says the referee. And Croatia can go the other way now. And Kramaric is onside here. And Perisic wants it. Kramaric has a shot and hits the side netting. And you see Perisic's reaction, because he had a clear view of goal. Kieran Trippier is inconsolable here. Poor boy. How much can you go through in one night? What a contrast of emotions for him. Poor boy. The only good news for England right now is that there are going to be 3 minutes of stoppage time. 180 seconds has just grown to 4. 4 minutes of stoppage time to keep this alive, and Rose plays it in. And Vardy let it run. those are lifted English voices. How much more do these Lions have? Dyer. Maguire. So far have they exceeded expectations, that they enabled their nation to believe and almost to expect again. But is this proving a bridge too far? Perisic. Will Croatia be first-time finalists? Rakitic trying to fiddle a route through. England's free kick. Rakitic and Alli becoming entangled each in the other.
আমার মোবাইলের চ্যানেলটি সাবস্ক্রাইব করুন এবং বেল আইকনে ক্লিক করুন নতুন ভিডিও সবার আগে দেখার জন্য। আমার মোবাইলের চ্যানেলটি সাবস্ক্রাইব করুন এবং বেল আইকনে ক্লিক করুন নতুন ভিডিও সবার আগে দেখার জন্য।
Hoisted forward towards Kane and taken by Subasic. And a few more seconds elapse. And the truth is that for England, they have not tested Subasic sufficiently. Just one shot on target. Don't expect Rakitic to get up quickly. 2 minutes of stoppage time played, 2 minutes still to play. How long? That's what Lingard wants to know. That's what most of England does know. They nearly had it. Corner flag does for Croatia now. Perisic, Pickford, Pickford. 75 seconds for England. Out of harm's way by Batal. Thrust forward by Pickford. On by Lingard. Maguire is forward. Everyone must be forward in a white shirt now. Kane away from Chorluka. Alli, handball. And this is England's last chance. All on this. Batal threw his hand up. And this is the last card in England's hand. It needs to be an ace. It needs to be the ace of trumps. Every chip they own is on this number. Beyond stoppage time at the end of extra time. Now or never. Flicked in by Rashford. And flicked away for Perisic. And Croatia, for the first time ever, will play in a World Cup final. And for England, it's another oh so near. England's three brave Lions slink sadly away as Croatia reach.
আমার মোবাইলের চ্যানেলটি সাবস্ক্রাইব করুন এবং বেল আইকনে ক্লিক করুন নতুন ভিডিও সবার আগে দেখার জন্য।
Trailblazing generation went almost all the way on World Cup debut. This sharp-edged 21st century collection of artists and labourers, ball winners and ball users, it is going the full distance. And And in keeping with half a century of hurtful history, England are once more denied their utopian moment. For the English football nation, it has been a thrilling tease. Against its weary instincts, it was gloriously tempted to believe again. Only once more for that old familiar emptiness to return, and Bobby and Nobby and Banksy and Bawley and co remain.
আমার মোবাইলে চ্যানেলটি সাবস্ক্রাইব করুন এবং বেল আইকনে ক্লিক করুন নতুন ভিডিও সবার আগে দেখার জন্য।
But we have our final. Moscow 4 days from now. Croatia against France for the right to be champions of the world.
আমার মোবাইলে চ্যানেলটি সাবস্ক্রাইব করুন এবং বেল আইকনে ক্লিক করুন নতুন ভিডিও সবার আগে দেখার জন্য। আমার মোবাইলে চ্যানেলটি সাবস্ক্রাইব করুন এবং বেল আইকনে ক্লিক করুন নতুন ভিডিও সবার আগে দেখার জন্য।
England will head to St. Petersburg after their glorious campaign came to an end. It isn't coming home, not this time anyway.